What do you say, everybody? Sean Higgs coming at you here. It's Monday Night Live. Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast, YouTube powered by our guys over at gamblersWORLD.net. You can get our premium stuff over there. And by us, I mean the guys who aren't here right now, but you know who I got. Today I was with Doug Upstone. We'll say the full names in case you don't know who I'm talking about. And Chip Chirimbus. And if you're looking for some baseball today, because yes, we have NFL going shortly. Doug gave out the Milwaukee Brewers team total over 3.5 today. Chip Chirimbus was on the under Atlanta Braves. And I said to go under the San Diego Padre game tonight. So those were the MLB plays. We were 2-1 last Monday on the show. And if you watched any of the football videos on the Winner Circle YouTube channel this week, a combined 2-4, 6, what is that? 6-2. Not a bad run of football on the chat. And that's only the free crap that we give you. Man, imagine if you put it up $20 and got the good stuff. But for free, all you do is hit the like button here. Now, it's Monday Night Live. We're going to do some football. I'm going to throw in some props I looked at today, if you're interested in those. Before I get that, you know what I got to do? I got to hit the YouTube here. Excuse me. Well, it is sort of YouTube-ish because I want to retweet out the show here. We got to do that. We got to retweet it out to get everybody on board to watch because I know people enjoy watching live Monday Night Football talk. There we go. You know what? That's wrong. I should probably edit that message. That's not going to be a good message. Because I just retweeted the YouTube, but I didn't add it into the thing. But luckily, for everybody involved here, I have a edit button. Because I got a couple bucks in my pocket. That's what happens. You have a little bit of money, you win a couple bets, you can pay the YouTube premium. There you go. And the X premium here to get a member. Post edited, excellent. That's how we roll. Now we can start the show officially after 2 minutes. Let's jump right into prop action here today. And Philly fans will be happy because I went a little Saquon Barkley. 2 TDs for Saquon here. DraftKings odds, unless I say otherwise. Basically, I just look at DraftKings. I like the way they're thinking. I look at a couple of ESPN bet ones, but it is what it is. Let's do DK. Most people have DK or FanDuel. That's what we did last week as well. But Barkley 2 TDs here. And this is going to coincide with a little something up I got coming down the road here in another one. But Barkley for 2 TDs plus 310. Why not? You don't pay all this guy the money for him to sit around and do nothing and have Hurts do tush pushes. We're not doing that anymore. That's why you got a real running back. Anytime touchdowns. I'm not a big first touchdown guy. I'd rather prefer the anytime. I know people up doing the first and you want to parlay same game like these puppies up. I'm going dots in here, right? A.J. Brown is out. 310 is a nice number. Now, Goddard is a 210. Devontae Smith's a 130. I understand you want to go there. Why would you want to come in and have somebody tell you to take like 130? That's not a fun plus 130. Come on. That's good for Major League Baseball. We're taking Cleveland or the Expos or the Padres, whatever. I threw the Expos in there as a joke, folks. Relax. I've been out of baseball for a bit, but let's go 310 instead of a 130 on Devontae Smith. And Drake London 205. Atlanta's going to have to throw the ball a little bit here. I know everybody loves Pitts. You got Bijan. I get it. Drake London's my guy. For whatever reason, 205, that's a nice price for a team that's going to score a touchdown or two here. Hello. Maybe it's because I like his over receiving yards. You can go 60. It's minus 130. I think his over or under is like 61.5 or 62 around those numbers. 70 plus 145. I like a little more. But again, I put the 60 up here as well because people want a payday. I understand. I like to get a little greedy. I like to run line instead of money line. Plus 145 instead of minus 130 is right up my alley, as the old folks used to say. Now, Barkley, 2 TDs plus 310. I'm going to say Hurts under passing yards, 225.5. We're going to run the ball a little bit. Get the clock chirping. No Brown. Yes, we're going to throw to our new receiver, Dotson, who's new to the show, maybe not all that familiar with our guy, Jalen Hurts, techniques and schemes and stuff like that. Under 225, minus 115 is easy. Normal bet. Let's get it. Next up, a little Atlanta. For the Atlanta fans, Bijan, 50-plus receiving yards. Last week he had 44. If the game goes as it is, in my pea-sized brain rolls down a 12-lane highway, where it's going to be something in like a 10-point kind of lead here for Philly, whether it's 17-7, 27-17, 40-30, whatever the case may be. It's going to be prevent you from covering. And here comes the little dink and dunk nonsense out of the backfield kind of stuff. Chunk yardage for Bijan. He'll be on the field. Plus 270. Dude, this cat could do this in the first quarter on like a bubble screen. Plus 270. I get, his regular, what do we have to be? 40 plus yards is a 160 here on the DK. His 50 yards is actually up to 275 as they look at it. So they don't have faith in Bijan. I think this guy breaks that. You know what? Get the pen out for me. He breaks a 30-yarder somewhere along the lines. I'll even write down. Breaks 30-yarder. Let's call 25 plus. At least we'll have half of it there. Breaks 25 plus catch. There's my own get the pen out. I'm getting ready to critique myself next Monday on the show. So there is that. And as a side total wise here, all right, you got to lean a little bit on the under 45.5. I know that the numbers say, and we were on Friday night, Friday live, Mark Lawrence, Victor King. We were talking about some over trends in this, not just series, but just Philly at home, Monday night kind of stuff. The primetime under thing was a thing. Forget about it. I look at the under as this. I'm missing a good wide receiver. I got a team in Atlanta who's, okay, you got a quarterback who has that prime time, I don't say jinx, but whatever. Can't win there. Off injury, look like crap. New system, receivers, the whole as a aura for Atlanta didn't look all that great at home. Now you're going into basically a Lions day, and the Philly's going to be pumped up. Off a nice win in Brazil. Everybody saw them put up a bunch of points. The overreaction is they're going to come in here and drop a 40-piece, and it's Atlanta, and they're going to be able to just turn. I don't think teams can just turn. We got to see a little bit. We have to see a little bit. Whether you're Cousins or Bryce Young or Caleb, whoever. He was hurt. Not even as much rehab time as Aaron Rodgers. And then you're on a whole new team. Under. I don't know. I got Bijan up there. I'm talking about it, but I'll lean under here. And this game, it opened in 4, went up to 6, and we're at the dead 5.5 number here. I hate as a Cowboy fan saying the Eagles, but the Eagles are the best team in the NFC East. Eagles should get this one done. I hate saying things look easy and locks and no doubters, but you look at this one, and it should be. Hey, Eagles got a lot to prove. Coaches have to prove something to players. Last time the fans saw Philly, they were limping off the field in a home loss when they lost at the end of last season. So they're pretty pumped up for here. Now, the other side of that coin is what we saw this weekend in NFL, where favorites went down in flames. The Ravens blowing 10-point fourth quarter leads. You had road teams in the Niners go down as a fave. The Jets barely hung on. Cowboys at home as a favor on this page. Will we be shocked here if the Falcons win this game? I don't know. Let me know. We got some comments here. I'll get to them in a second. I won't totally be shocked. But, yeah. For show purposes, if we're going inside or total, I prefer the under. I prefer the under. We got a couple comments here early. Eric R. Fade the public tonight or take the Eagles? Is the public on Minnesota? Is that what you're telling me here? Now I gotta pull up a page for splits. Now this one channel here has 82% of the bets on the Eagles. 79% of the handle. The line opened to 4, went up. Here's the thing. Eric, I say this on my little midday money show I do. I've said it on here on Winner Circle before. I said it on live with Mark and Victor. You have to have an opinion of a game before game day. Because if you're going to let this kind of stuff influence your betting, you're losing. You're going to be a long-term loser. You need to have this opinion formed on a game. The line next week, these lines will be out on Wednesday, official on sites. You should be looking at them on Wednesday, writing them down, having an opinion. If you like the Eagles, it shouldn't change because the public's on the Eagles. You should already been in on a better number. You're not waiting for whatever broadcast is pumping out a live show on Saturday noon, Sunday noons, Monday night, Sunday, whatever it is. The public wins sometimes. They do. Do they lose sometimes? Yeah. Last time I checked, sports books are in the Caribbean, getting their food trucked in and flown in. The casinos are in a desert where they don't have water or catfish for their spaghetti. I don't worry about the splits. Gavin is like in Goddard over 39.5. I don't hate it, right? I mean, you lose and this is why I put Dotson up there. You're going to lose a wide receiver. Who's going to make up the difference? Goddard's as good as one of them. Listen, Dotson was 310. I mentioned Goddard was 210 for a touchdown, and Smith was 130. He's going to go somewhere he's familiar with. He knows this guy. 39.5. They've got to make up the other yardage somewhere. They're just not going to run Barkley in week 2 37 times for 167 yards. I like it. There's a little Gamblers World premium stuff coming up. Go get it. For you baseball fans, by the way. Oh, that's a scroll. Look at that. $199 rest of baseball. In case you want to do that, there's a baseball package up. And we'll probably talk baseball in the show too. Dan Morris is in the house, my guy. Good to see you. As always, Dan, popping in. Where you been? It's been a minute since I've seen you, Dan. Lauren's coming in. Have not bet anything yet. The old yet. You don't have to force things. And I totally understand how people get wrapped up into I'm just going to put you go into your counters, some odd number in there, whether it be $5.37. It could be $537. You're going to just do something rando. I'm going to do some anytime TD parlay. I get it. I totally understand. And when you open up a window today, folks, don't turn notifications on for these sports books, please. But I totally get you open this puppy up on any app, and this thing's just staring at you, all types of things, and there's flashing lights and things beeping at you. Do this or that. It is tough. If you don't love the game, I say you don't have to jump on it, but people love doing the props. And I got to start doing more prop stuff here, whether it just be on our free pick videos here or for the weekend footballs. People love the prop action. Eric, my opinion is to take the American birds over the dirty birds. See, I just call them, as a Cowboy fan, they're filthy. They're the Philadelphia Eagles, so they're actually the dirty birds, not Atlanta. Atlanta would be like the crunk birds. Was that ludicrous? Like crunk? And Eric, I don't know how old you are. Jim in the background is probably like, what the hell, crunk? We're going to lose all of our elderly audience talking about. Dirty South. Welcome to Atlanta. That's, you know what? We should have like a little Welcome to Atlanta playing for the intro today, Eric. Philly's the better team. A little more in sync. I think that matters. Now, I'm off to a rough start in football, or NFL-wise at least. So there's that. But the American Birds, the Liberty Bell Birds, should win. The Rockies. Michael B's at the house. Good to see Michael. Twice in one day. Like that's a first, Mike. Come on. I came to conclusion on Monday Night Football. I'm going under. I mentioned that at the top, not the top of the show, but a little while ago. I said I kind of like the under here. I don't love it, but I'm a degenerate. I took the Dodgers money line too. I feel square. Dodgers money line with our guy Yamamoto on the hill, minus 135. They won last night. They put up that 7 spot in the 9th inning. It's tough taking the Braves. As I said today, we have a Brave under by our guy Chip Chirimbus today in the morning show here. I tend to agree with that because the Braves have been such an under team. And how about, you know what? We got to add to this, Michael, because you were there today. Ohtani Ribby plus 175. That's worth a shot. Ohtani guy's got 50 homers. He could just randomly get a Ribby on a home run. Michael A's popping in. Good evening. He loves it. Good to see you, Mike. Back for new NFL season. No more Jesse and Ross. They left me. Sometimes you got to let your children spread their wings. I said, it's time for you guys to do your own thing here, fellas. Jesse pops in sometimes in the chat, says hello. And Ross, listen, Hollywood called. He's doing Harvey Keitel stuntman work. So he's living a dream out there. You'll see him. And he's not in adult movies either. He's not doing that kind of stuff. He's doing real Harvey Keitel flicks. They're doing a remake of Mean Streets, apparently. It's going to be based in a over 55 community, over 75 community. I got to throw one at Ross. I haven't talked to him in a while. Eric says, Eagles should win, but to cover the spread too. Again, do you think it's going to be a 3-point game? Listen, at 4, I like the Eagles. At 6, I'd be more inclined to take the Falcons. 5, here we go. Here comes the teaser number, right? You like the Eagles? Want to put them down to a little plus money? I know they say don't tease through zeros and stuff like that. I mean, I like the under. I think it's to be a low-scoring affair. Does that mean I think Minnesota is going to shut down the Eagles? I don't know about that. Here we go. 5-legger night. This is what I'm talking about. This is what people love here. Hurts over 200 passing yards. Devontae Smith over 60 receiving yards. Goddard over 45 receiving yards. Saquon over 6 yards rushing. Bijan over 25 receiving. I think there's a realistic shot. All right, listen. Hurts 200-yard passing. Should get there. And you're thinking that because you're putting 2 guys in there to catch some balls. Saquon to run a little bit. Bijan gets a couple dump passes. Why not? He had 40-something last week. Why not? I mean, what's the payoff on this, Mike? What are you getting? What's the pay? I know what your bet is. Is it 25 to win X, 5 to win X, 100 to win X? I mean, you're going 5 legs. I got the Dodgers minus 120 earlier without a real starting pitching edge for the Braves. I just think they are disadvantaged defensively, offensively. Dodgers have seen a lot of Max Fried. I do not know. See, here's the thing, though. Is it a real edge? I mean, it's not a terrible season for most pitchers, but it's not a great season for him. I mean, he's been all right. I mean, I got his numbers here. 3.45 ERA is nice. 4 runs his last game. 1, 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 5. 1, 5 last 10. I mean, he's been hit a little bit. Here's a guy I thought would be on his way to a Hall of Fame career, Mike, right? I mean, he started 9 starts, 14 starts, 17-6 in 2019. COVID year, he was 7-0, 14-7 in 2021, 28 starts, 3 ERA. 14-7, 2.48 ERA, and 30 starts 2022. 2023, hurt, 8-1. You know, I mean, 3.46. This is his. I mean, throughout his rookie year, basically, he went 4.02 ERA. Every other ERA has been under 3, basically. I mean, his first year, nine games, 4 starts at 3.81. 294, 225, 304, 248, 255. I mean, the guy's good pitcher. Then he gets hurt. And now he's 30. And, of course, Yamamoto, what do we see out of him, man? Second start back off the injured list. Are the Dodgers – here's the thing, though. How far is he going into this game tonight, Mike? Who's their pitchers left for this team? Look at this. Who do they have? They're a hot mess. Glasnow's out. Stone is out. May is out. Sheehan's out. Kershaw is always questionable. And Buehler. Who else are they throwing out here to pitch? Gosselin's been out the whole year. They can't let this guy go. He's going to go 5 and here comes the bullpen. That's been overworked because everybody's hurt. I think that's your Cali bias taking the Dodgers out there. Even though that's the enemy for you. I could not take her on the side of Monday Night Football. It would be the Falcons, just based on what we saw last. Eagles can't be stopped, and the Falcons could not get started. Yeah. I mean, everybody saw the Falcons get shut out 18-0 at home. I mean, what is that about? Terrible. Lauren says, I like the Expos reference. That's some great players. Yes. Lauren, I feel like cracking open some baseball cards with find some Gary Carter and Tim Raines back in the 80s, Tim Wallach. How about, that Expos, the 94 Expos, that should have been a Yankee Expos World Series. I mean, Grissom, I think Larry Walker was on that team. Was Pedro on that 94 team? Des Martinez? Ken Hill, maybe? 94 Expos? Where did 94 Expos at? They were good. That was a good team. Delino DeShields. I mean, look at this crew. 74-40. You kidding me? Cliff Floyd at first base. Mike Lansing. Will Cordero was having a nice year, batting .294, 15 homers in August. Sean Berry at third. 11 homers, 278. Moises Alou, 22-78 and 339. Marquise Grissom, Larry Walker. What an outfield. You had Rondell White on the bench. Ken Hill, 16-5, 332 ERA. I know the wins don't, the new kids don't care about wins. I think they're important for pitchers. Pedro, 11-5, a young 22. Jeff Facero, 8-6 with a 299. Butch Henry, 25-year-old. People probably thought he was going to be better than Pedro. 8-3 with a 243 ERA. And then Kirk Ruder. Was Kirk Ruder a knuckleballer? Someone do some research. I mean, I could sit here and dig into Kirk Ruder. John Wetland in the bullpen. 25 saves with Mel Rojas. Gil Heredia. Look at this. Jeff Shaw. What a team. What a team. Not meant to be. And then the insult to injury, they put your team and call them the Nationals. Moved to Washington. 100 to win 1,300 on the 5-legger from Michael A. So that's 13-1. Not bad here. Hurts 200 yards. Smith over. Goddard over. Saquon over. Bijan. It looks like a winner to me. I mean, I like it. You know, Michael, if I would say, I would hit you with, this should get there. This should, and you know me, things go right, you got to have this in the first half, right? I mean, Eagles just explode. All these are cashing in the first half. Monster game for Hurts, like a big pass play to Smith and Goddard. Next thing you know, they got 50 and 60. Both have 55 yards at the half. Saquon's got 80 yards rushing. Bijan is 50-50 rushing receiving. I mean, you're there already. So I like it. Dennis O'Brien has it going. I got Barkley over rushing yards as well. I don't hate the Barkley rushing yards here. What do we got here on the DK? I mentioned DK. Normally, I don't mention the apps, right? I mean, I never like mentioning them because one, if there's a problem, I don't want people like, oh, you mentioned it, I should get paid, and then they don't pay or sponsor, so I don't like to mention them by names, but I will just for to pull up numbers wise. So rushing yards, where did you go with over rushing yards? What is his number? Did you pick? Did you just do over the 80 yards for minus 110 here? Did you go 100 yards for plus 210? What did you think about doing? I mean, the 80 yards minus 110 tells me that he's getting somewhere. I mean, 70 is minus 165. They're not expecting much from him. Not expecting much. I mean, not expecting much from Bijan. Another 70-yard. I guess they look at 70 yards a game gets you 1,000 on the season. But Marcel Gardner or Markle. He's just leaving a dot. Nope, because he was coming in. Wants to know what are you on for your I see. I saw the dot. I'm like, there's got to be something else here. And he wants to know where'd you get your parlay. He enjoyed it. He liked it. I'll have to invite Michael A on to give out a 5-leggers on the show. I would stay away from Devonta Smith tonight. AJ Terrell for the Falcons, the elite corner. Without AJ Brown, he's going to be all over him. Dotson, anytime touchdown, 300. And that's what we got here. I thought a Dotson was worth a shot. We popped him up here. He was a plus 310 earlier for a any-timer. So I don't hate it. I don't hate that. That's why I don't know. I think the Eagles, we're going to look to Barkley twice. I like it. And Dennis, how's it going again? That's where it came up after the fact. Chris, good to see Chris and his Dolphins. A lot of games were under yesterday. Vegas may want an over, but has dropped by 2 points. Don't worry about what you saw yesterday. That's the thought process of, well, this happened, so that means this is going to have to happen. A normal Kirk Cousins, I'd think this is an overplay. Guy's working his way back. I like the under. Philly's going to run the ball. They didn't bring Barkley in for him to chuck it all over the field. It's nice to have multiple good receivers. I get it. Now you're down one. And your number 2 receiver now, and Dotson is a guy who came over from Washington over the summer. How in sync is he right now? That takes time. Michael A. Expos for the modern day Marlins turned out a lot of top positional players. Gary Carter, Reigns, Hubie Brooks. Hubie was a good player. Galarraga, of course, Dante Bichette, Martinez brother, Vladdy. They had some good players. They had good players. You don't go 70-40. I mean, even after the fact, like Jose Vidro. Jose Vidro had some nice years up there. Then they went down. Who was the Tim Wallach was a staple for them back in the day. Pitching wise, I know they got after they traded Randy Johnson. Who'd they get from? I know they think like Mark Langston went up there, right? Was he in that trade? By the way, the Dodgers are a first-round exit for sure. Most overrated team. I've talked about the Dodgers since March. I said go under their win total. Ohtani, Betts, Freddie for 3 MVPs. That's great. Who's pitching? Who's hitting behind them? And the pitching has all but come home to the DL. John Putnam. I got the undernight Philly Atlanta 46.5. I like it. I don't trust Atlanta on the side. Got to show something good. I agree wholeheartedly. Under for sure. I just can't come in and throw money on Atlanta. I wouldn't want to. And that goes for a bunch of teams. Now, Does that always mean it's a winner? No. But that's a normal thinking process right there, John. T-Money's in house. I come and see Sean's talking crazy about the Dodgers. T-Money, come on, bro. How are we doing this Dodger pitching staff? You think the Dodgers are winning the World Series? I said I like the Padres. This is the Padre year because the last couple of years when they're trading for Snell and Max Scherzer was on this team, wasn't he? I mean, like Soto, like they're trading. This is the year they didn't do anything. They didn't give Machado $300 million. They didn't give Tatis $300 million. So they're just kind of lurking back there, like, oh, what a waste. And then things kind of go right for them, and they go wrong for a team like the Dodgers, and now you're 3 games back. It's Philly or San Diego. Who's going to be hot at the right time between those two? We saw Philadelphia go on a nice run. Twice, right? I mean, they got the crazy D-backs. No way with the Dodgers. They do not have the pitching. They don't have it. And I don't think they'll out-club teams. Yeah, you got 3 good players. I'm going with a better pitching staff. And, yeah, this guy pitching tonight is pretty good when he's in there. Who do you got after him? T-Money? That's for any Dodger fan here. This is all for all teams. Philly's had a nice year. You got Wheeler, Nola. Are you loving Suarez second half? Is he going to hit the wall a little bit? Is he going to continue? I mean, yes, it's September 16th. So far, so good. But we've seen guys fall apart. What are we doing? Speaking of baseball, there we go. Go get it. 199. I'm having a nice baseball season. Winning, as our guy Charlie Sheen says. 199, Gamblers World. All the way through the playoffs, the World Series, $1.99. That's a month. That's basically like $50. You know, $50 a week. Come on, folks. Make the smart money move. Get on board. All right, 3/7/38 packages are guaranteed for all caps. Use the leaderboard. I told you I'm having a good football season, but you know what? You look at the leaderboard. Hi, see who's doing well. Simple stuff. Simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Just give it a kiss. Kirk says Atlanta money line. Now, I know we're talking Braves, but I'm sure this is for the Falcons here. Little Atlanta plus 210. I'm not going to say no to this. Veteran quarterback. Looked like absolute dog poop last game. You got a running back. You got a tight end. You got a wide receiver. You got a decent defense. Can it gel right with a new coach and everything that I just mentioned? Against Philly, I mean, with Philly's last game at home, I'm going to pull up their schedule from last year because I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm not a Philly fan. As a Cowboy fan, I want to see Philadelphia burned to the ground like it's a civil war in the South. I don't like Philadelphia. But for all intents and purposes, this is a huge game for them. Last time at home, New Year's Eve, how are they feeling? 35-31 loser at Arizona is 12-point phase. I'm sure people were upset. I'm sure if the new stadium, if the Link had a prison jail cell in the basement like the Vet did, they would have been locking up people because they're probably going nutty on New Year's Eve, losing as a double-digit fave. Not a good look. Not a good look for them. I mean, the game before that, 33-25 as a 14-point favor over the Giants. Lost at Seattle, Dallas. Here we go. San Fran coming in, kicking your teeth in 42-19. They weren't that bad. They beat the Buffalo in overtime. That was kind of a quirky win, if I remember correctly. The Dallas win, you should have lost that one at the end. But that's Dallas doing Dallas things with Dak. So, yeah. Falcons, worth a shot. Total bad ending for Philly last year. Losing 5 of 6 right out the door. T-Money says, MLB talk. We just went to the Dodgers. And you listen, and this guy, come on, T-Money. You come in a half hour into the show when we already went through all the props. I'm gonna put all the props up in a second again. So base loaded for the Twins. Can I get a run for my first 5? Here you go. Pablo Lopez on the hill today. Kirk is, look at this. He says you're throwing money away on the Falcons money line. Yep, I love it. New Orleans. Who dat? The guy from, I forget his name, from Storage Wars this year's from here. I love it. I got to say, I had the Cowboys over the Saints. I was laying a 6. I had bet it the week before. I said, you know what? Dallas is going to lose to the Browns. They're going to come home. The Saints are all going to be like, hey, look at us. We're a good team. We just beat the Panthers 36-4. Yeah. No, they dropped a 50 spot on the Panthers and then took Dallas to the woodshed in Jerry's World and beat the crap out of them. Now, I don't know. What am I saying about the offense? Yep. You are a Saints fan, apparently. Is that team for real? Are you taking them as right now? I think you grab them at +2.5 next week. Right? Is that what the line is for this game next week? It was at 4.5, and after their performance, it dropped. And I'm seeing them now. It's down to 1 right now. I didn't look at lines. This was a 2.5 last night, so it's come down a whole 1.5 already. So at that point, I guess you just take them at home. Look at this nonsense from DK. Now, is DK now you're a 1-point dog and you're a -108 on the money line. Like back in the day, for us old folks, you'd be getting like +105, +110 on this. Now you're minus. Oh, ridiculous. Dennis says, Sean, pop in and say hello. Good luck tonight. I have Barkley over 76.5 rushing yards. I like it. I like him for 2 TDs, Dennis. 2 TDs plus a 310. I'm going to run up there's quite a few comments. You know what? I got to get to my Ninja first. Cowboys are overrated, overpaid. Somebody for Ninja is always overrated, and I love it. And you're not getting an argument out of me. It's not going to happen. I didn't want you to pay Dak. I said that last year. Didn't you? You've come into the shows on this channel, and I'm like, don't pay this cat. And I know it's just not – I don't think Dak is terrible. That's not the thing. The thing is that you got to pay these quarterbacks $56 million. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then I got a terrible head coach. We haven't had a head coach since Jerry Jones. That's a lie. We had Parcells for a couple of years. And I'll tell you, when Parcells was there, I was cheering for the Jets. I couldn't cheer for Parcells. The Giant coach. And you know, Ninja, I said take the under Cowboys season win total beginning of the year. We're going to roll back down in a second. Let me get to my props because T-Bunny thinks we're just talking, he didn't know. He came in half hour into the show. Barkley, 2 TDs for me, plus 310. You don't sign a cat to have Hurts do tush pushes all day long. Barkley to get the ball, 2 TDs, plus 310. Dotson anytime touchdown is a plus 310. Drake London is plus 205. All right, Philly. If you want to look at Devontae Smith, he's plus 130. I'm not going to 130. I look at my numbers here. You think I'm going to take a low 130? And Goddard's a 210. You want to go that route? Okay, it's 2-1. I get you. But these are for show purposes. This is what we got here. And last week, we hit a couple of these in the show. Drake London over 70 receiving yards is plus 145. You could go just 60, 130. All right, whatever. I'm a greedy. I'm a fat guy. Of course, I'm going to go to the buffet line 4 times to get more chicken or meat or whatever's up there. Hurts under passing yards, 225.5. I got the Barkley 2 TDs up there, right? I think we're missing A.J. Brown. Let's try to run a little ball, throw the clock, do this and that, under 225. I don't think they'll be trailing huge where he's going to drop back and have like 39 pass attempts, and he's going to sail to like a 280 passing yardage. Each team TD and a field goal first half plus 1,600. I had to read this over like 4 times because it said like each team one plus, so it's 1 or more TD or field goal, and then there was another one that was a 340 that was just for any TD or field goal first half, which again it's not terrible. Where were they? I'll read it off to you. The game prop. Where was that? Was that a game prop? Each team to score 1 plus, so they got to score a touchdown or more. That's how I read it wrong. It's in each half. We got to adjust this. This is each half. I still like it. Plus 1,600. And the first half, I'll even put up here first half. First half for plus 330. That would be our, is T-Money still here? Our Mr. Numbers free money stealing from the books play of the day, as he likes to call it. Bijan Robinson, 50 plus receiving yards, plus 270. I'm not going to go for the 40 piece there. It's a little less money. His receiving yards in the 50 range, 40 range is plus 155. I go big. You go big or go home. If you're going to do something, just do it correctly. Go have fun with it. Michael Amato. If the old Expos were being coached today, they'd all have 24 homers and about 235 and 200 strikeouts. But they'd have that launch angle. Oh, don't get me started. Okay. The strikeouts. I think it's Nakayeti or Warmonger. I think it's Nakayeti puts up a lot of the newer stats like that, where guys in the 80s and 90s, like their strikeouts to hits and stuff. Just ridiculous kind of nonsense. And the Warmonger on Twitter, I'll give these guys, because they just about really fun stuff if you're a baseball fan. They'll put up random guy on the Phillies, like Ryan Howard's MVP year when he had like 47 homers. Like the backup second baseman had a better WAR because defense matters. Yeah, sure. That's why Ryan Howard got $144 million. Pass ball 1-0 for the Twinkies from Michael B. I'll let you know if the parlay hits tomorrow on midday. Please I didn't write it down. 100 for 1,300. Let's get it, Michael. Ninja says the Falcons plus 6. We love the Ninja. Good to see Ninja back in the chat. He's going to come in here for college basketball and tell us whoever the best team is, how they're overrated. It'll probably be King. Who's going to be overrated this year? Who's the overrated college basketball team? T-Bunny says, what do you think of the pass interference call that allowed the Chiefs to beat the Bengals? Didn't look like pass interference from what I saw. Listen, penalties, and I don't even remember the call here. You're going to get calls. The Chiefs are always going to get a benefit of it out of a call at home, trailing in a game, right? I mean, come on. That's just the way it is. The calls have to be a little more consistent, right? I saw some article, guy complaining about drop tackle not being called. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what's his name last night? Williams getting hit on the sideline. They wanted a flag. He was inbounds. But I'll tell you what, if that's somebody else, is that going to be a flag? Probably. I'm all for hitting a guy on the sideline. You want to dapper around and not run out right away? You got to get hit. But pass interference calls, I say this all the time, T-Money. You know this. It's 3rd and long. Just chuck the ball. You got a 50-50 shot at pass interference call. The DB runs into you. He doesn't turn around. It's a flag. They got to change that crap. And there's plenty of times where it's helped me and I get the spot foul. Do college style. Make it a 15-yarder. I mean, but don't get me started on the refs. Come on, man. That's the same kind of crap like the strike zones in baseball. People, they want to slow things down. We got to do this and that. Dude, that changes the history of the game. They're humans. Bang, bang. Let them just be the judgment calls that they are. There was something about umpires having different kind of strike zones and pitchers pitching to those strike zones. Now, is it ever going to be letters to knees in baseball with a strike zone? Hell no. I think the Dodgers get out of the first round. Well, I don't know if they get out of the first round. Currently, the wild card standings here. We have the Dodgers sitting in first place, second place, because they're a game behind Why isn't this loading up here, MLB? So Philly would be playing either the Mets or Braves, right? Or did they switch that where you can't play your team from your own division? I think that's switched when they added another wild card. Dodgers against Arizona. Padres, Milwaukee. I mean, the crazy thing is that the Padres could end up with more wins than Milwaukee and be the wild card team. Should be a fun last week and a half here. Pen out. Dodgers don't have the pitching and won't out-hit teams. You get the pen out. The Padres do not have the pitching. Now, if they lose the game 9-7, what does that mean? If the game's 9-7, who wins that argument? Cardinals probably wish they still had Shilton dug out instead of Morrow. Listen, St. Louis, I've said this at the beginning of the year when they went out and got a bunch of old guys. They bring in Sonny Gray and all these old timers. And I say that tongue in cheek, but I mean, Goldschmidt's like 36 or 37. Arenado's 34. Why the heck? I know they were like 2 games back at the trade deadline. I was adamant that they should have traded all those guys away. Like, who cares what you get back for Goldschmidt? Free up $120 million. You get rid of those guys. You could sign Soto for $500 million. You're telling me you couldn't get any Gray or Lynn or any of these pitchers that they roll out here? You couldn't get anything back to start over next year? Like, what are you doing? Oh, there's hope. We got to keep trying for the playoffs. Yeah, well, now you just buried yourself for another 2 years with those 2 guys in Arenado and Goldschmidt with those contracts. They're not getting better as they get older. They drug test now. Hartley. Also, I saw a 50% profit boost on same with parlay. So I bet Hurts, a TD, Barkley over 75.5 yards. Eagles to win, boosted to plus 420. See, my thing is the Hurts TD. That is where I would be a little concerned. Is he gonna butt rub one in, whatever he does? I don't know about that one. I would have went someone else to score TD. I don't think they want him taking the ball, taking off and running at the goal line. I don't think so. That's why they brought Barkley in. Hello, let's watch some Tua highlights. They don't want a guy running. Did you watch Caleb Williams get drilled last night? You think they want this guy to be running the ball? John Putnam says, Cardinals wish they had Mark. Oh, instead of – listen, you heard my little rant on St. Louis. It's a great organization. They're always there. I mean, even now, they're 7 back at a wild card with a joke team. Partially because the whole NL Central is garbage, but – again, me running a team, and for those out there, I wouldn't have given Judge $400 million either. No, thank you. Leave. I'm not paying you that money. You played 3 full years and 8 seasons of baseball. No, thank you. Be the Josh Hamilton deal for the Yankees in a few years. Teammate says, like the Brewers right now, the Diamondbacks are waking up. Stroh's old, and the Yanks got the names, but I don't trust the manager with keys to my truck. Yanks have 2 names. Maybe 3, and you want to put it's Judge and Stanton or Judge and Soto. You want to put Stanton and Jazz in there for offense. All right, Stanton when he's in there has had a nice year. Are you going to battle with this pitching staff? And you can say the Stros are old. Their best player is Yordi Alvarez, is insane. He's awesome. Their best pitcher is a Verlander. It's Valdez, and he's young. Arrigetti's pitched well down the stretch a little bit. Hunter Brown's pitched well. They brought in bullpen help. That's the team you got to worry about. And we said that when they were 10 games under. And not only them, I was like, oh, even Seattle. Like, if you're looking at a team, I think this was May, Team Money, we were talking about this. And we might have talked about it here on this channel as well. Who are you looking to bet on to win? And that was when the Orioles are really raking and doing everything right. I said take any. It could have been the Rangers, could have been the Mariners, could have been the Stros, any of those teams. Rangers were looking to get healthy, get guys back. They didn't have any. Seattle was still looking to hit here on September 16th. And the Stros were struggling a little bit. They were hitting, just not scoring runs. How don't you think the Stros are coming out of American League? Orioles did nothing at the trade deadline. Look at their pitching staff now. In shambles. Bullpen is terrible. The Yankees? We're sold on the Yankees? Cleveland, KC? Minnesota? Seattle would be dangerous if they could hit because the pitching is on par with anybody in the league. Cardinals probably wish they had Shildt instead of Barmel. Listen, it doesn't make a difference. They're an old team, John. Philly. I'm not a Philly fan. Do not like Philly or the Red Sox too, by the way. I told you I don't even eat New England clam chowder anymore. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't care. I hate the NFL. Team money. Come on. Sorry, we're not talking about young boys soccer plus 1,600 tonight, or some Australian cricket match that you could bet at 3:30 in the morning. It's Monday Night Football here in America. To Moose, my guy. Where the heck have you been, fella? To Moose. Good to see you. I don't know what it's worth, but the under has hit 15 the last 21 times between these two teams, 7-9 in Philly. What exactly? What does that mean, 15-21? Is that? I mean, was Eric Kramer the quarterback of one of these games? I mean, where are we going with this one? 15 of the last 21. Head to head. Let's go back to Atlanta, 2009, 34-7. McNabb for Philly throws a touchdown. Michael Vick off the bench for the Philly team. Was that the dream team, Philly, when they had Michael Vick on the bench? Yeah, Shady McCoy. Here we go. Jeremy Maclin. Man, what a team. Chris Redman leading the way for Atlanta in that game. Chris Redman. 31-17. Matt Ryan for Atlanta. 2 touchdowns. Oh, here's a Philly goat. Kevin Cobb. In a spot start, throws 3 TDs. Who's this one? Michael Vick throws 2 touchdowns. Mike Kafka comes in, goes 7-9. Okay. I mean, oh my goodness. Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz battling in the game. Nick Foles. Oh, Nelson Aguilar throwing a 15-yard pass. Come on, Tamoose. We can't go. We cannot go to the database off of these, off of that. I thought Atlanta was MLB, but Hurts on Monday Night Football is not losing. You're a Hurts guy. +3 one day will be even money. Yeah, +3 one day will be even money. Probably. These books are ridiculous. I've been here nationally. Oh, the boys have a great defense. CD's back. Dak got paid. Everything's right in Dallas. Give me a break. Are you kidding me? I said no to Dallas. Mike, you've watched my show. I said no. Dak, and this is why I had the Browns opening game +2. Rebuilt offensive line. You bring back Zeke Elliott. Me and Zeke, we're on the same diet. I can't get a contract. I mean, I get he's a little younger than me, but we probably run about the same speed. And at this point, I probably got more heart because I didn't get paid like him. I go out there and want to be good. I mean, come on. That's the team we're rolling with that head coach? No, thank you. I'm right with you, Sean, on the Barkley. He's going to be out there. Yes, he's going to be this year's CMC. Absolutely. They paid him. Philly's in. This is like, I'm not saying the Philly are the Jets, but the Jets brought in Aaron Rodgers, right, to make the playoffs? No, they brought him to win the Super Bowl. You have a defense, you go over the hump. You got Hall and Wilson. You got to get that piece to get in there. Why did they bring in a borderline, I don't want to say Hall of Famer, but an elite running back for all argument's sake? He's a really good player, right? I mean, I'm not going to say he's not a good running back. You know, the guy's healthy. The guy's fabulous. You're going to feed this cat. That's what you're going to do. You want pressure off the quarterback so he's not out there gunning and shucking and doing tush pushes. Something could happen to him. Those hands are tough. Listen, touchdown and a field goal, you can't. This is like going for 4th and 1 at midfield. I say you're 4th and 1, you should go for it anywhere. If your team can't get a yard, they have no right winning the game anyway, whether it's on their own 30 or the other team's 30. Get the yard. Most quarterbacks are over 6 feet. Last time I checked, a yard is 3 feet. How hard is it to go this far? You can't squeeze between two fatties and get the ball out there? How can you not score a touchdown and a field goal? You have no right winning a game if you can't score a touchdown and a field goal. I mean, you mentioned pass interference calls. The way they throw flags out here? Come on. T-Money's co-signing my have one. Don't give Mr. Numbers. So yeah. Where is Mr. Numbers? Where is that guy? What is the baseball playoffs about? Pitching and defense, timely hitting. Who comes hot? Exactly. Offense, juggernaut teams almost never won World Series. Yes. It's a juggernaut World Series offense because they're rolling through the end of September through the playoffs. And they got some pitcher dealing. I shouldn't say that. They'll have an ace and an ace-A, like two good guys. Like, oh, that's a good one too. But then you got some other cat out of nowhere. Like last year's B Fatty in the playoffs. It comes out of nowhere. B Fad, just smoking guys. Who is going to do that in the next 2 weeks and through October? That is who's going to win the World Series. Find that guy right now. On what team is that? What team is that right now? Is that some cat on Cleveland? Is it going to be Seth Lugo? Seth Lugo wins tonight. The guy's 17-6 with a sub-3 ERA. That's where you do the digging. Timothy's in the house. Bill says Eagles first quarter minus half. Get in, get out. Here we go. Bill, you can't say get in, get out. I got a guy who swears he made this phrase up. He's the first person ever. I'm not going to say who it is. Team Money knows who it is. I have to laugh. Get in, get out. Do you know who I'm talking about, Bill? You've been in the show before. Oh, my goodness. There'll be a comment, Bill. Come back later on tonight or tomorrow and look for this in and out comment. There will be a comment in the comment section from this man that he coined this. No one else has ever said it before until he put it on Twitter. Oh, my goodness. Michael B. Stros and the Padres World Series for me. Listen, I think the Stros are the team to come out of the American League. What do we got here? Seattle, they're basically at it, right? They're 3 back. They got some work to do. Still haven't hit. 9. It's 9:16, 8 o'clock in mid-September. They still haven't hit the ball. I'm not sold on the Yankee pitching. Definitely not sold on their bullpen. The Twins are finding ways to blow a nice season with their starting rotation. Lewis, Buxton, Correa. I think they haven't played 20 games together this year. You're not going anywhere when your 3 best players played 17, 18, 19 games in the season. Cleveland, I think that's the bullpen. I grabbed a Clace Cy Young thinking they were going to shut down Scooby Dooble when they were like, oh, they pushed him out. I was like, oh, look at this. I could come in here and steal it with a great bullpen guy, but that looks like it's out the window. I don't believe in the Brewers. It's tough too. Here they are with 90 wins. Bizarre. What about the Diamonds bullpen for the D-backs? Yes. Braves can't hit enough. Mets don't have a true number one. Phillies don't. Yeah. Philly and San Diego, I think, are going to be battling out again. They got some talent on both of those teams, man. I was agreeing with the Major League Baseball talk. Oh, okay. I didn't know what you're agreeing with. After Judge, who even lineups to get on base or driving runs? Well, listen, they have Soto, but I'm saying it's Soto and Judge hit 2-3, and then you got Stanton behind him, who's had a nice little year. I'm not saying Stanton hasn't been terrible. He's been a lot better than I thought, but Rizzo, Ben Rice. Come on. I like Jazz. Jazz Chisholm's all right. Come on, Yankee fans. Ugh, go to sleep. Season's over. Dream Team Philly Eagles. What a joke. Remember that, Mike B? I know Jim in the background remembers the Dream Team. He was probably pumped up about the Dream Team, shaking his head like, oh, my goodness. Jeremy Maclin, the Dream Team. Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly is what? He's with Ohio State now. Ugh. Purdue will always be overrated for college basketball. Ninja, thank you. Arizona band. Oh, don't get me started on Arizona. And then you'll get T-Money in here to start kicking my teeth in about last year's Arizona team. I was all high on Arizona. R.I.P. the Rams. Someone called them Cripple Cup today in my show. A line from 4 to 7. I was like, wow, a 7 spot early here. What's going on here? And then it's like, oh, that's why everybody's out for the Rams. That is a San Fran teaser down, right? I mean, I don't want to lay 7 on the road, but they're off a bad loss, and the Rams are – maybe you take the Rams. I know the old, you fade injury report kind of nonsense. It's not one guy. Their team is banged up. And I said this when I was talking about the Bears win total being like, getting like 6 or 7 wins. I said the Ram game could be a loss depending on how healthy they were. And really, week 3, they're already out. They're already down their entire wide receiver core. They're 2 starters. Terrible Rams fans. Hey, just go to the game and watch the Chargers play. It's the same stadium. At least you got a team that's looks all right there. I get your point. The most recent stats the last 5 years. Listen to moves. I don't hate sometimes bringing up stuff like that, but when you have, especially when there's like coaching changes stuff, like those things, I loved that in college basketball back in the 90s, early 2000s, like Coach K, Dean Smith, like all these guys were at schools for 20 years. You knew exactly what you're going to get. Who cares what players came in? You knew what they were going to be about. Now, come on, man. Just the fact that the way the league's changed and the penalties and everything else, how they call games and rule changes, I got to take those with a grain of salt. But Eagles are going to win now. Absolutely. They have to make it to the championship game. I think they could. I mean, I was hyping the Lions. I thought the Lions were going to come out of the NFC. They have struggled putting points on the board in the red zone. I don't think that. AFC, I think you got to – we'll see how the Pacheco injury does. But if they're going to bring in Kareem Hunt and they already have – they still have Sky Moore. Kansas City will be fine because they play defense and they have Mahomes. It's Kansas City and then everybody else over there. I mean, I'll put the Bills like 2 steps down because I want to see how they kind of perform as the year goes on. I thought they'd be more run heavy and a little more balanced, not having Allen just take off all the time. But I think it's Kansas City and everybody else. The Ravens, what a despicable loss costed me yesterday, up 10 and losing that game. It's ridiculous. Michael B. Dolphins on the Ravens, Tyler Huntley. Remember when that guy made the Player Bowl? 17 TDs, 7 picks. Tyler Hunt, and they didn't put Tua on the injured list. He's a decent backup. Again, he's why we grabbed some Browns in preseason. I mean, they had 4 guys who won games on their roster coming in against guys who were riding snowplows in the wintertime. I mean, and they couldn't do nothing in the preseason. Thank you, Cleveland. Mr. First Half. Yes, get in and out. You like that one? Get in, get out. Am I staying live during Monday Night Football? No. No, I you know what? I'm not going to sit here and just slide bet. I can't just sit there and be like, well, let's do this and that. I'm not getting into the live stuff there. If the under presents itself more, possibly, LOL to Arizona. Seriously. Come on, Arizona. Be fatty out of the Dream Team Eagles and the wide 9 defense. Here we go. Sometimes my old references hit a chord. I miss college basketball. Can't wait to watch some WCC and Mountain West. I'm going to miss Bill Walton during the Pac-12. Oh, he was great. Bill Walton podcast were great. That way go out. Before he came out, would he just smoke a giant fatty and have like 40 mushrooms or something? That guy was fabulous. Yeah, I mean, is there going to be Mountain West basketball anymore? Are they just getting rid of that, making it the Pac-12? Is Cal and Stanford going back to the Pac-12, which is, you got to love it. You got to love it. Oh, my goodness. All right, listen, we're an hour. No one came again. The old guys are in their Metamucil fix, having Metamucil milkshakes and getting ready for bed. Their early bird banana pudding, whatever they have for dessert. I'll make old guy jokes when nobody shows up for an 8 o'clock show at night. So that's my prerogative. All right, we're going to wrap this puppy up. Let me run through my final props here for the show here. So, Barkley 2 TDs, plus 310. Anytime touchdown, Dotson 310, Drake London 205. Drake London 70-plus receiving yards, just plus 145. If you want to not be a big, bold degenerate and go minus 130, sure. You can play it safe. You can be that guy. Or you can just not wear your seatbelt when you're going through the drive-thru and take the 145. Hurts under 225 passing yards. Basically, even minus 115. Nothing crazy here. Each team, TD and field goal. Each half is 16-1. First half is plus 330. 10-10. I might have 10-10 in the first quarter. I'll be laughing at you guys with 1,600 in my pocket. Cowards. Come on. Bijan, 50 receiving yards plus 270. And there you have it. There you go. Be sure to hit the like button here on the Winner Circle YouTube channel. You give us a follow. There's my Twitter was just there, Mr. Sean Higgs, and gamblersworld.net. Live show next live is Friday. Me, Victor King, Mark Lawrence, 1 p.m. It's usually an NFL heavy show. We kind of just jump right into our games, and then it's about 45 minutes or so, sometimes longer, depending. A lot of times we kind of wrap it up because these guys do a lot of radio and stuff like that because people love them and it's good stuff. And we are 4-2 the last 2 weeks with our plays with 2 doggy outright winners. So be sure to watch that. You don't want to miss out on that. And I think that's about it. Make sure you visit our sponsor, gamblersworld.net. Me, 12 other guys. We do sell picks. So support the show. Least you can do is hit the like button and get on board when they weekly passes. I will be back tomorrow with a free pick video, me and Chip Chirimbus. This is it for the live. Thanks for watching. Like buttons. Let's do it. Good luck, everybody. Bye-bye.